Hello everyone, Neo Rashi here, and welcome to my last video of 2025. This is actually a request from a friend on Discord, and that friend wanted me to do something that I haven't done in, I think, over a year, that's for sure. I don't know exactly how long, but over a year. Basically, he wanted me to show you my entire manga and light novel collection as of the end of the year. So he said, well, I believe he asked me to do it like on January 1st, but I decided to do it on December 31st instead. It's the same thing anyways. So, I believe if my calculations are right, as of right now, I have 2,577 books. Just for the record, the last time I did this, I had 1,800. So yeah, I haven't done this for basically since my last video like this. I've gotten about 700 books. Yeah. All right. So I want to apologize in advance. My room is a mess. I'm going to try to not show you my room as much as possible. Even my bookshelves are a mess, so I'm very, very sorry for the mess that you're about to see. But at least it'll give you a good idea of what my collection is. Also, you might be hearing Zelda music right now, but there's a good chance that you will hear my budgies at some point, maybe, because they are in the same room as where my mangas are. Alright, so I'm going to show you most of them. I'm not going to show you the hentai. I have 3 hentai and 9 that are like super not safe for work. Well, the super not safe for work, I'm gonna show you at least volume 1 and then say, oh, I have that many volumes. Anyway, here we go. This is gonna be a long run, but I'm still going to try to be as fast as possible. I'm going to try to keep this under 45 minutes. Might be hard to do because, my last video lasted like almost 40 minutes with 1,800 books. Anyway, so as the other time, I'm going to show you the collection and quickly tell you where I am, like how many volumes I've read. So let's start right away because it's already 3 minutes long and you've been staring at the black screen for the past 3 minutes. So let's start. Okay, so first, I'm also going to tell you if it's in French or English. Well, if it's in French, I'm gonna tell you. If it's in English, I won't tell, but anyway. So yeah, first is Girlfriend in French, volume 1 through 5. I have read only volume 1 and 2. I'm also, if I don't know the Japanese title, I'm just gonna try to translate the word in French, in English. So yeah, this series, 4 Brothers for Me, volume 1 through 10. I've read only volume 1. This one, I do know the English title. It's You Got Me Senpai, volume 1 through 10, the entire collection. I've read the first 2 volumes. Sweetness and Lightning in French also, volume 1 and 2. I've only read volume 1. Next is The Family Circumstances of the Irregular Witch in French also, volume 1 through 5. I've read volume 1 and 2. Double Play in French, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've read volume 1. This one I don't know the I don't even know how to translate the name in English. So L'amour à l'excès, volume 1 through 11, the entire collection. I've only read volume 1. Next is Heroine for Hire, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Volume 1 through 4, the entire collection. I've read up to, actually only volume 1. Next is, I believe this series is called something like that. This is a French version, volume 1 through 4. I've only read volume 1. Next is Mitsubishi Colors, volume 1 through 6. Also in French, I've read up to volume 3. Next is Aisuken, Keep Your Hands Off Aisuken, I believe. Volume 1 through 5. I've read volume 1. Next is also in French. Most of these, most of the first, like, 500 books maybe that you will see are going to be, most of them are going to be in French, but yeah. Migratory Birds and Snails, volume 1 through 3, which I believe is the full collection, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually started it. I did read the first chapter, but I didn't read the full first book. Next is Hina and Bambi, which I did review Hina and Bambi volume 1 not too long ago. Volume 1 and 2, the entire collection, I've read both. Miraculous, volume 1 through 2 and 3, I've read volume 1. En attendant lundi, sorry, because this one, I don't know the Japanese title, but I know, like, the title, if we translate word for word in English, it's gonna be While Waiting for Monday. I don't know why. Volume 1 and 2, I've read volume 1. Lost Island Alchemy, volume 1 through 5. The entire collection, I haven't started this one yet. Next is My Sweet Boy, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've read volume 1. Next is Luminous Blue, again in French. Volume 1 and 2, the entire collection, I've read both of them. Next is And Yet You Are So Sweet in French, volume 1 through 10, I've read volume 1 and 2. Now we're finally getting some English title, She's My Knight. It says volume 1 and 2, but it's actually volume 1, 2, and 3. Volume, like, they split volume, they split volume 2 and put half in volume 1 and half in volume 2 of this English version. But anyway, I've read all 3 of them. Next is Beauty and the Beast Girl. There's only 1 volume, and I have read it. Now we're probably gonna need some light. Can I add some light? Oh yeah, I can. Yay, light. Alright. So, yeah, it's next to my bed, so it's gonna be really hard to not be super close, but Tying the Knot with an Amagami Sister, volume 1 through 15, I've actually read volume 1. Next is more English stuff. I Married My Female Friend, volume 1 through 4, the entire collection. I've read only volume 1, actually, I think. Next is My Girlfriend's Not Here Today, volume 1 through 5. I've only read volume 1. No, I haven't even read volume 1. I just got this one from recommendation from a friend, so I haven't gotten the opportunity to read it yet. Next is Vampires, volume 1 through 5. I've read up to volume 3. And I'm supposed to, I pre-ordered volume 6 a while ago, but it's been delayed to no end, which sucks. Next is a French version of Kindergarten Wars, volume 1 through 10. I've only read volume 1. Alright, so again, I'm not letting you see the mess that is my room, so you're going to see my ceiling for a bit. And the second bookshelves starts here with I Want a Gal Gamer to Praise Me, volume 1 through 4. I've read volume 1. I Got Caught in a Hero Summon, but the Other World Was at Peace, volume 1 through 9. I've read volume 1. Insomniac's After School, volume 1 through 14, the entire collection. In French, I've read up to volume 10. Next is one of these that I don't know the Japanese title, and this one doesn't have a French English version, so word for word, the title is Palace of the Assassins. Volume 1 through 6, and I've read up to volume 3. Next is Brother for Rent, volume 1 through 4. In French, I've read all 4 of them. This one, I don't know the name of the series in English, but strangely enough, the French version has an English title, Sao Tome Love and Boxing. Volume 1 through 10, the entire collection, and I've read up to Volume 3, and I still don't know why Volume 2 is yellow while all the other... Volume 4 is white. Like, Volume 2 and 4 are different colors, I don't know why. Next is Sakura Saku in French, Volume 1 through 8. I've read only Volume 1. Next is, this one is called Blade Girl, I believe, in French, and in English, sorry. Volume 1, 2, and 3. I've read Volume 1. There's the Q-tips here. Mordu de Toi, I remembered the English title. God. For this one, I think I'm gonna check, because I think the English title is actually written somewhere in the book. I know I know for this series I read up to Volume 2. Let me check. Oh, it's probably just in Volume 2. I'm not gonna bother checking the other, so I'm gonna put it here for the moment. But yeah, I've read Mordu de Toi. I've read up to Volume 2. Yeah. Hug Me Please, Volume 1 through 6, the entire collection. I've only read Volume 1. This is in French again. This is another series that I used to remember the Japanese title, but I don't remember the Japanese title. I think it's Neko no Otara no Shion-san, but I'm not 100% sure. But the French title translated to English is The Girl of the Temple of Cats, Volume 1 through 9, the entire collection. I've read up to Volume 6. And we're probably going to need the light again here. This one is another series that I don't know the English or Japanese title. So, La Gardienne des Concubines, which basically translate to Guardians of the Concubine. Volume 1 through 4, I read only Volume 1. My Neighbor Seki, in French, Volume 1 through 10, which is technically the entire collection since the series seems to have gone on hiatus. I've read up to Volume 3. Next is a bunch of Licorice Recoil series. There's all in French, but there is a main series, 1 through 6. I've read 1 and 2. And all of these spin-off, I haven't read any of them yet. So I have Repeat, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Reload, Volume 1, 2, and 3. And React, which I believe only has 1 volume. Next is the light novel, the first light novel we see on this video. But Chitose is in the Ramune bottle. Volume 1 through 7. And Volume 6.5. And I've read Volume 1. And honestly, I should read them more because I actually did like Volume 1 a lot, and the anime is pretty solid so far. I've only watched the first 5 volume of the first 5 episodes of that series, but I still like it a lot. Alright, next we're back to more French stuff with Octave, Volume 1 through 6, the entire collection, and it's upside down, sorry about that. I've read Volume 1 and 2. He Came for Learning Love in French, Volume 1, 2, and 3, the entire collection. I've read Volume 1, and it's not that great of a series. Nah, never mind, I like it. Just kidding. Next is, I don't know the Japanese or English title for this one, so the French title translated to English is Such a Beautiful Color, and Volume 1 and 2, entire collection. I haven't started it yet. Next is Country Girl, Alice in the Country of the Three-Sided Mirror in French, Volume 1 and 2. I've had these for 4 years now and I haven't started them yet. Next is something that I got from Nintendo when Pokemon Scarlet and Violet released. Hanano Breath or Breath of Flower, Volume 1 and 2 in French. I've read both. Next is It's Upside Down and in French, but Ao-chan Can Study, Volume 1, 2, and 3, and I haven't started the series yet. Next is Bus Bright Days in French, Volume 1 through 15, the entire collection, and I've only read the first 2 volumes. Next is, I don't remember the full title in English, but I know it's Medaka, and his last name, I don't remember his last name, but Medaka is impervious to my charms, volume 1 through 8. I haven't started this series yet. Next is the French version of Assorted Entanglement, volume 1 through 8, and I've only read volume 1. Next is Atabana, volume 1, 2, and 3, and this is the entire collection, and I haven't started it yet, and I probably won't. I've only bought this series because of who made it. Next is the French version of A Couple of Cuckoos. I have volume 1 through... There's another Q-tips here. Volume 1 through 22, and strangely enough, I've only read volume 1. Next is... Crap, I don't remember the name in Japanese. I think it was Arui 2. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, moving forward, this is in French. Volume 1 through 11, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 3 or 4, I don't remember. Next is Secret of the Magical Stones, volume 1, 2, and 3 in French, the entire collection. I haven't started it yet. I've only bought them because it was the entire collection and the main character looked cute. So, speaking of cute main character, but not cute story, Gushing Over Magical Girls in French, volume 1 through 9, I've read up to volume 2. No, volume 3, I think. Next is, I don't know the English title for this, but the French title really translated in English, is basically My Roommate is a Gamer, volume 1 through 7, and I've only read volume 1. Next is Love Agency in French, volume 1, 2, and 3, I've read volume 1. And yeah, so I have 3 hentais that I did show in previous videos, but I'm not going to show you today, but I am going to show you the Super Not Safe for Work series that I also stashed with the hentai, and it's Partner 2.0. I have up to volume 9, but I've only read volume 1. Alright, so I'm just gonna take a short, like 15 seconds break. I just need to take a sip of my Coke Zero. Alright, I'm back. Next shelf. So we've done 3 shelves out of 11, but I'm only doing the short shelves now, so some of them will be a bit longer. So, next I have, oh boy, I think it's, the French title is La Gameuse et son chat, which means the gamer and her cat. I do think the Japanese and English title is simply Gamer plus Cat, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But volume 1 through 8, I've read only volume 1. Next is the French version of the Apothecary Diaries, volume 1 through 15. Again, I've only read volume 1. Next is Yokohama Kaidashi Kiku in French, volume 1 through 14, the entire collection. I actually never read these books, but I did read volume 1 through 4 digitally before this series started to get published in French. Next is My Boy in Blue. This is, I don't know why they gave it an English title for the French version, but yeah, Love Under Arrest, My Boy in Blue, volume 1 through 16, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 4. Next is this series, I'm sure it has an English title, but I don't remember it, but Lady Vampire, volume 1, 2, and 3, the entire collection. I haven't started it yet. This is another series that I know has an English title, but I don't remember it. Plongée dans la nuit, volume 1, 2, and 3. Entire collection, I haven't started it yet. Next is Somersault Turn, volume 1 through 5, the entire collection, and I haven't started it yet. There's a bunch of series I haven't started. Lovely Loveless Romance in French, volume 1 through 8, which I think is the entire collection, but I'm not sure. But I've read up to volume 3. Next is Cette vie auprès de toi. I don't know the Japanese or English title. Volume 1 through 5, I've only read volume 1. And this is something that I got at Nara, near the Deer Park, and it's missing a... Oh, the actual chain fell off. Next is Sen to Man. In French, Père et Fille simply means father and daughter, volume 1, 2, and 3, entire collection, and I've read it. Next is Waiting for Spring, volume 1 through 14. 2 more Q-tips. I'm very sorry about the Q-tips. I should throw them away as soon as I'm done using them, but apparently I'm too lazy for that. But yeah, Waiting for Spring, volume 1 through 14, the entire collection, but I've only read volume 1. Next is Dreaming Sun, volume 1 through 9. I believe there's a volume 10 though, so I don't think I have the entire collection. But yeah, I've read volume 1 and 2. Next is Whisker Away, volume 1 through 3, the entire collection. I've read the first 2 volumes. Next is Corpse Party, Blood Covered. This is the French version, volume 1 through 10, the entire collection, and I've read only volume 1 and 2. Last but not least for this bookshelf is, I know there's an English title for this, but I don't remember it, but the French version strangely has an English title as well. Secret Girlfriends, volume 1 and 2. I didn't read these physical books, but I did read the fan translation. Alright, so again, you're gonna see my ceiling for a short bit. And you probably see a box right now. Alright. So we're finally going to get more English stuff. From now on, it's not going to be only English stuff, but mostly English stuff. First is K-On! Shuffle, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've read volume 1 and 2. Next is The Guy She Was Interested In Wasn't a Guy at All, volume 1 and 2. I've read both of them. Next is, I think the name in English is Love Like Strawberry, something like that. But in French, the title, Le Goût des Fraises, means the flavor of strawberries. Volume 1 through 4, I've only read volume 1. This is the entire collection. Next is New Game, one of the first manga I got for this huge collection. Volume 1 through 13, the entire series, and obviously I've read all 13 of them. The next series also has 13 volumes. My Senpai is Annoying. I've read all 13 of them. Next is Lesbian. Azumi-chan is interested in lesbian brothels. Volume 1 through 5. I've read up to volume 4. So these are a bunch of like one-shots and stuff like that. But I'm just gonna point the ones that I read, basically. You'll see. Actually, I've read most of them. See You Tomorrow, The Food Court. Technically, it's like labeled as a one-shot, but there's actually a second volume that was released in Japanese last year, so we might actually get a volume 2 at some point. But I did read it, and the anime is really good, by the way. Next is Now Loading. I've read it. The French version of Madoka's Secret. I've read it. Farewell to My Altar. I haven't read it, but I have read other anthology that includes some of the stories in it, so I've read maybe half of it, but via other books. Next is Double Your Pleasure, Twin Yuri anthology. I've read it. 5 Seconds Before a Witch Falls in Love. I've read it. Look Back. I've read it. Secret of the Princess. I've read it. Yuri Life No Love, No Life, I've read it. Nay, 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 I've read it. I Love you So Much, I Hate You, I have read it. This one, I don't remember the name in English. But it has an English title for French, but Our Summer Love, I've read it. Cats and Sugar Bowls, I've also read it. Alright. Next is Becoming a Princess Knight and Working at a Yuri Brothel, Volume 1 through 4. I've only read Volume 1. Anna and Ina After School, Volume 1, 2, and 3. I believe the last time I made this video, I didn't have Volume 3 yet. I'm not sure. Oh no, never mind. Yes, I did have it. But I've read both of them. My Cute Little Kitten, Volume 1 and 2. I've read Volume 1. Pseudo Harem in French, Volume 1 through 4. I've read up to Volume 3. Next is Fly Me to the Moon, Volume 1 through, I have to go back down one floor, 30. I've read up to Volume 25. Cocoon and Twine, the entire collection, Volume 1 through 6. I've read Volume 1. Makina-san's A Love Bot, Volume 1. As you can see, it's still sealed. So I did read Volume Chapter 1 online, but I haven't read this book yet. Next is Convenience, My Friend, Volume 1 and 2. I've read none of them. This is a light novel, my first Love's Kiss, Volume 1, 2, and 3. I've read Volume 1. And it's a really good series, even though it's not the kind of stories that I really like. Volume 1 was great. My Actually the Strongest, Volume 1 through 8. I've read up to Volume 2. My Dear Friend Nokotan, Volume 1 through 6. I've read all 6 of them. I Wanna Do Bad Things With You, Volume 1 through 7, the entire collection. I've read all 7 of them. My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999, Volume 1 through 5. I've read up to Volume 3 or 4, and I don't remember, I'll be honest. Alright. So, we've already seen this one. Witch's Life in a Micro Room, Volume 1 through 5. I've read up to Volume 2. I Don't Know Witch's Love, Volume 1 through 4. I've read Volume 1. The light novel version of Bofuri, I Don't Want to Get Hurt, so I'll max out my defense, Volume 1 through 16. I've only read up to Volume 7. Next is The White Cat's Revenge as Spotted from the Dragon King's Lab, Volume 1 through 4. I've only read Volume 1. You and I Are Polar Opposite, Volume 1 through 7, I've read up to Volume 6. Oshinoko, Volume 1 through 12, I've read up to Volume 3. The French version of Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf, Volume 1 through 7, I've actually didn't start this series yet. Next is Komi Can Communicate, Volume 1 through, I'm gonna have to go back down, Volume 36, I've read up to Volume, I believe, 20. The French version of Super Cub, Volume 1 through 5. I've read all 5 of them. Next is... Oh, Volume 10 is on the top. And they're all upside down. But Futaribeya, A Room for Two, Volume 1 through 10. I've read all 10 of them. This is the entire collection. Next is Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Volume 1 through 28. The entire series. I've read up to Volume 20. Next is Honey Lemon Soda, Volume 1 through 10. I've read up to Volume 7 or 8. I believe 8. Next is the light novel version of Kuma 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 Bear, Volume 1 through 21. And I have a couple of 0.5 volumes, I think. Only one, actually. I have 11.5. I've only read up to Volume 5. These are not manga, but still merch in form of book, kind of. So I'm still gonna show you them quickly. Next, this is Tender Anime Girls coloring book, and it's obviously Yuri theme, and I haven't touched it yet, but yeah, it's all pictures of very cute picture for the most part of Yuri stuff, I guess. And then this is the probably not official non-Yuri coloring book. Again, I haven't touched them, but it's full of non-binary. There's a lot of Renge stuff now that I think about it. And this is something that I got at Lake Motozu. This is a kind of guidebook for laid back camp. I haven't read it all because I can't read. I just look at a pretty picture. It doesn't touch the anime at all, from what I can understand. But it does show stuff from up to volume at least 14, I think. Because I know there are pics of Emma and May, the two new main characters that were added in volume 13. All right, time for the next bookshelf. After this one, I'm gonna take another 15-second break. Voynich Hotel, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've only read volume 1. Futari Escape, volume 1 through 4, the entire collection. I've read all 4 of them. Same for Kaji's Ends. I've read all 4 of them. Please Put Them On Takamine-san, volume 1 through 9. And I've read up to volume 2, sorry. I'm gonna have to turn the lights off for a bit because my phone is starting to get really warm. Next is It's All Your Fault, volume 1 and 2. I've only read volume 1. Does It Count If You Lose Your Virginity to an Android, volume 1 through 5. I've read up to volume 2. Syrup, a Yuri Anthology, volume 1 through 4. I've read volume 1 and 2. The Girl in the Arcade, volume 1, 2, and 3. The entire collection. I actually haven't started it yet. The Demon Girl Next Door, volume 1 through 6. I've read up to volume 3. Monologue Woven for You, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've only read volume 1 and 2. Shikimori is Not Just a Cutie, volume 1 through 20. The entire collection. I've read up to volume 15. Next is Marmalade Boy, collector's edition. So technically they split this in 5 volumes, but there's actually 8. But I did read up to volume 3 of this collection. So I can't exactly know, probably like volume somewhere in mid volume 4 or volume 5, I guess. The maid I hired recently is Mysterious, volume 1 through 7. I've read all 7 of them. Breasts Are My Favorite Thing in the World, volume 1 through 8, the entire collection, but I've read only up to volume 4. Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow, volume 1 through 9, the entire collection, and I've read all 9 of them. Throw Away the Suit Together, volume 1, 2, and 3, the entire collection. I've read all 3. No, I haven't started it yet, sorry. I don't know, I was thinking of another series. The manga version of Kuma 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 Bear, volume 1 through 11, I've read up to volume 2. Girlfriends, volume 1 through 5, through these 2 complete collection book. And I've read all 5 of them. Actually, I've read all 5 of them in one sitting. 365 Days to the Wedding, volume 1 through 9, I've read up to volume 6. Otaku L, volume 1 through 10, I've read up to volume 4. Chasing After Aoi Koshiba, volume 1 through 4, the entire collection. I've read only volume 1 and 2. When Will Ayumu Make His Move, volume 1 through 17, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 14. Next is Teasing Master Takagi-san, volume 1 through 20. I've read the entire collection. The 100 Girlfriend Who really like. Anyway, the 100 Girlfriend series, volume 1 through 16, I've read up to volume 15. Next is the French version of My Tiny Senpai, volume 1 through 5, I've read up to volume 3. How Do We Relationship, volume 1 through 13, I've read up to volume 7. Our Teachers Are Dating, the full collection, I've read all 4 of them. There's No Way I'll Be Your Lover Unless, volume 1 through 3, 1 through 7, but I believe I've read up to volume 2 or 3, I'm not 100% sure. Next is Tamamo-chan's A Fox, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 3. Next is the manga version of The Executioner and A Way of Life, volume 1 through 6, I've only read volume 1. To Save the World, Can You Wake Up the Morning After with a Demi-Human, volume 1 through 8, I've read only volume 1 and 2. If the RPG World at Social Media, volume 1 and 2, the entire collection, I haven't started this yet. Last Round Arthurs, Volume 1 and 2, the entire collection. I haven't started it yet either. The Saint's Magic is Omnipotent, Volume 1 through... yeah, it's gonna be hard because both the manga and light novel are in the same pile. So, Volume 1 through 10 of the manga and Volume 1 through 9 of the light novel. I've read up to Volume 2 of the manga and up to Volume 3 of the light novel. After School's Beechcraft, Volume 1, 2, and 3. The entire collection, I've only read Volume 1. How Do I Turn My Best Friend Into My Girlfriend, Volume 1 through 4. I've read all 4 of them. Skip and Loafer, Volume 1 through 11. I've read up to Volume 5. Even Though We're Adults, the entire collection, I've only read Volume 1 and 2. Drugstore in Another World, Volume 1 through 11, I've only read Volume 1 and 2. Yeruko-chan, I have the official comic anthology as well as Volume 1 through 11, but I've read only up to Volume 5. Oreimo, the entire collection, I've read Volume 1 and 2. Eromanga Sensei, the entire collection that was officially released in English, because there's like 12 volumes in reality. I've read all 3 of them. Tales of the Outcast, the entire collection, I've read up to Volume 5. Days and Fez, the entire collection, I've read up to Volume 3. The Golden Sheep, the entire collection, I've read Volume 1. The Eclair series, I've read only the colorless one, the first one, basically. Blanche, Rouge, Bleu, and Orange, I haven't read them yet. Witch's Love at the End of the World, Volume 1 through 3, the entire collection, I've read Volume 1 and 2. The manga version of Restaurant to Another World, the entire collection, I've only read Volume 1 and 2. Divine Railment Magical Girl Howling Moon, the entire collection, I've read all 3 of them, and this is one of the worst. This is probably the worst series that I have. Konohana Kitan, Volume 1 through 14, I've read up to Volume 7. Next is Days of Love at Seagull Villa, Volume 1, 2, and 3, the entire collection, I've read all of them. Idle Dreams, Volume 1 through 7, which is technically the entire collection because the series has gone on hiatus for a couple years, and I've only read Volume 1. Imperfect Girl, the entire collection, I've read all 3 of them. The manga version of Roll Over and Die, Volume 1 through 6, I've read only Volume 1. Trapped in a Dating Sim, Volume 1 through 13, I've only read Volume 1. Gabriel Dropout, Volume 1 through 14, I've read up to Volume 13. The manga version of In the Land of Leedale, Volume 1 through 6, I've read Volume 1 and 2. Who Says Warrior Can't Be Babes, I actually almost forgot I had this series to begin with. Volume 1, 2, and 3, I've only read Volume 1. Little Witch Academia, the entire series, I've read all 3 of them. Sex Ed 120%, the entire series, I've read Volume 1. Strawberry Fields once again, the entire series, I've read all 3 of them. The Alchemist Who Survived Now Dreams of a Quiet City Life, Volume 1 and 2, the manga version. This is the entire collection, I've read Volume 1. Gudere Sora Nagiara, Volume 1 and 1 through 4. The entire collection, I've read Volume 1 and 2. Alright, time for a little break, sorry about that. Ugh. Alright, I'm back. And now for the good stuff. And by good stuff, I mean my favorite series, for the most part. Because I have Laid Back Camp, Volume 1 through 16 in English, and Volume 1 through 13 in French. I read all 16 in French, and up to Volume 4 in French. No, I've read all 16 of them in English and up to 4 in French. School Live in French, Volume 1 through 4, I've read up to Volume 2. Love Bullet, Volume 1, I haven't started it yet. Non Beauty, Volume 1 through 16, the entire collection, I've read all 16 of them. Next is a light novel. The girl who wants to be a hero and the girl who hot to be a hero. Sorry, I don't know how to say that name correct, that word correctly. Technically the entire collection, because the series has gone on hiatus after one volume, and I read it. Next is the manga version of alias sometimes I just feeling in Russians, volume 1 and 2. I've read volume 1. My lovey-dovey wife is a stone cold killer, volume 1 through 7. I've read up to volume 6. The French version of My Clueless First Friend, volume 1 through 17. I've read all 17 of them. I also have them in English, volume 1 through 16, through these double-sized book, and I've read up to volume 6. Solo Camping for 2, volume 1 through 5, I've read all 5 of them. Tadakoro-san, volume 1 through 4, and despite it being my favorite Yuri of all time, I haven't read the final volume, but I did read the original doujinshi, which basically follows the same story, but the doujinshi has some more, like, it has an actual sex scene at the end of the series that this manga doesn't. So I know what's going to happen in volume 4, basically. Next is Love's Inside, the entire collection. I've read all 8 of them. Vampire Dormitory, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 10. K-On!, the complete omnibus edition, and I've read it. This is volume 1 through 4, basically. My Wife Has No Emotion, volume 1 through 8. I've read all 8 of them. Flying Witch, volume 1 through 13. I've read up to volume 12. The Girl with the Sanpaku Eyes, the entire collection. I've read all 5 of them. The light novel version of Days with My Stepsister, volume 1 through 6, I've read up to volume 3. The light novel version of The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, volume 1 through 8, plus I have 5.5 and 8.5. I've read up to 5.5. Next is I Won't Let Mistress Suck My Blood, volume 1, I've read it. Our Wonderful Days, the entire collection, I've read all 3 of them. Buffy, I Don't Want to Get Hurt, so I max out my defense, manga version, volume 1 through 8, I've read up to volume 5. My Special One, volume 1 through 10, I've read up to volume 5 as well. The manga version of Higehiro, volume 1 through 11, I've read up to volume 5. The light novel version of Higehiro, the entire collection, and I've read all 5 of them. That's a lot of 5. Ojo Jojo, volume 1 through 4, I've read all 4 of them. Touring After the Apocalypse, volume 1 through 6, I've read up to volume 5. Happy Sugar Life, the entire collection, not counting the extra volume 11, which hasn't released in English yet. Volume 1 through 10, I've read all 10 of them. If Witch Then Witch, the entire collection, I've read all 3 of them. Like a Butterfly, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 10. Next is the manga version of The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, volume 1 through 4, I've read up to volume 2. Itomi-chan is Shy with Strangers, volume 1 through 11, I've read up to volume 9. Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, volume 1 through 12, the entire collection, I've read all 12 of them. Crossing the Mountains, volume 1 through 4, I've read up to volume 3. The entire series of Miss Nagatoro, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, I've read up to volume 14. The Danger in My Heart, volume 1 through 11, I've read up to volume 9. Cheerful Amnesia, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 2. The original Kaze-san series, the entire series, volume 1 through 5, I've read all 5 of them. And the sequel series, Kaze-san and Yamada, I've only read up to volume 1. Alright. It's time to go to the next shelf. We have 3 left. No, we have 4 left. Oh my god, and these are all long ones. Okay, I believe I can turn the lights off for a bit here. Yep, okay. So I Want to End This Love Game, volume 1 through 6. I've read all 6 of them. Paradise Residence, the entire series. Volume 1 also includes Volume 0, so I've only read this one. I haven't read these two yet. Otherworldly Izakaya Nobu, Volume 1 through 10. I've read up to Volume 8. Daily Report About My Witch Senpai, Volume 1 through 5. I've read up to Volume 3. The entire collection of The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. I've read all 12 of them. Magia Wrecker Puella Majimadoka Magica Side Story, Volume 1 through 7. I've read only Volume 1. Doomsday with My Dog, Volume 1 through 4. I haven't started it yet. Donut Under a Crescent Moon, the entire collection. I've only read Volume 1. Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, Volume 1 through 13. I've read up to Volume 10. And the entire collection of Azumanga Daioh, I haven't started it yet, and I've had this book for 4 years now. Next is Please Go Home, Miss Sakutsu, Volume 1 through 9. I've read up to Volume 4. Next is Tomo-chan is a Girl, the entire collection. I've read all 8 of them. Magic Artisan Dahlia Wilts No More, Volume 1 through 7. I've read up to Volume 4. Namikawa-san Won't Take a Licking, the entire collection. I've read all 4 of them. No Matter What You Say, Furude-san is Scary, Volume 1 through 5. The entire collection. I've read all 5 of them. Next is the manga version of The Ideal Sponge of Life, Volume 1 through 19. I've only read Volume 1 and 2. Okay, so these are a bunch of omnibus books. Count Fujiwara Suffering. I haven't read this one. The whole humanity has gone Yuri except for me. I haven't read it yet. But these two I've read. So Kindred Spirit on the Roof and The Girl I Want Is So Handsome. I've read both of them. Next is Ina Matsuri, the entire collection. I've read up to Volume 14. Alright. Next is the light novel version of I Got Married to the Girl I Hate Most in Class. I haven't started it yet. But for the manga version, I have Volume 1 through 4 and I've read up to Volume 2. Next is the manga version of Wandering Witch, The Journey of Alina, Volume 1 through 6. I've read up to... I have only read Volume 1 actually. And I will say the same for I'm in Love with the Villainess manga version. I've only read Volume 1. I Can't Say No to the Lonely Girl, Volume 1 through 6, the entire collection. I've read up to Volume 4. Aho Girl, A Clueless Girl, the entire collection. I've read up to Volume 6. The Condition of Paradise trilogy, I've read all 3 of them. Puella Magi Madoka Magica, the complete omnibus edition. I haven't started it yet. Next is Yuri Is My Job, Volume 1 through 13. I've read up to Volume 11. Rent a Girlfriend, Volume 1 through 33, and whoops, I put Volume 9 there. But yeah, that's because I actually read Volume 9 recently. Otaku Vampires Love Bite, Volume 1 through 5, I read Volume 1 and 2. By the Grace of the Gods, Volume 1 through 13, I've read up to Volume 3. And Rent a Really Shy Girlfriend, Volume 1, 2, and 3, I've read Volume 1 and 2. The manga version of I Want to Heat Your Pancreas, I've read both of them. Bloom Into You, the main series, and the light novel spin-off, I've read all 11 of them, but I haven't started the anthology yet. Frag Time, my very first Yuri manga, I've read it. Okay. Citrus Volume 1, the entire collection, I've read all 10 of them. As for the sequel series, Citrus Plus, I've read up to Volume 4. Sayonara Football, I've read Volume 1 and I've only read Volume 1. And Star-Crossed, Volume 1 through 4, I've read Volume 1 and 2. So it's time for more Ceiling View. I'm gonna have to move some stuff before I can show you the rest. Alright. So, A Brief Moment of Ichika, Volume 1, the entire collection. I've read all 3 of them. A Silent Voice, the entire collection. I read up to Volume 4. The Quintessential Quintuplet, the entire collection. I've read up to Volume 5. Cells at Work, Volume 1 through 6, the entire collection. I've read Volume 1. Wotakoi, volume 1 through 11, these are all double-sided book except the last one. I've read volume 1 and 2. Well, basically, yeah, the first book. I married my friend to shut my parents up. I haven't read it yet. Sorry for my familiar, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 5. Gal Gohan, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 5 as well. Tough Love at the Office. I haven't started it yet. Corpse Party Book of Shadow. I haven't started it yet. These two includes 3 volumes. Rose and Maiden Collector's Edition. I don't know which volume each cover, but I did read volume 1. Sweet Blue Flowers, the entire collection. I've read volume 1 and 2, which is basically the first book. Next is Kiss the Scars of the Girls, volume 1, 2, and 3, the entire collection. I've read all 3 of them. Pretty bad Yuri, if you ask me. But I've seen worse. Speaking of worse, some people will probably think that NTR Netsuzu Trap is bad, and I'd be inclined to agree. The anime is horrible, but the manga is not as bad. I've read up to volume 4. Lovesick Ellie, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 6. Next is In the Name of the Mermaid Princess, the entire collection, I've only read volume 1. Nishiju, volume 1 through 12, I've read up to volume 11. After Hours, the entire collection, I've only read volume 1. Now there's going to be a bunch of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid stuff. So the main series, I have up to volume 16. I've read up to volume 9. The Elma spin-off, volume 1 through 9, I've only read volume 1. And I can say the same for the Fafnir spin-off, only volume 1, despite having 4 volumes. And I have the French version of the Kana spin-off, and I've also read volume 1 recently. Happy Kaneko Scare Live, volume 1 through 7, I've read all 7 of them. My Dress Up Darling, volume 1 through 14, I've only read up to volume 4. Next is Galaxy Next Door, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 3. Perfect World, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 7. I'm going to need the light here. Love in Hell, the entire collection, I haven't started it yet. Superwoman in Love, the entire collection, I've only read up to volume 4. The light novel version of Roll Over and Die, volume 1 through 4, I've only read up to volume 2. Cheeky Brat, volume 1 through 15, and 15 includes like a bonus book or something, that's why it's a little thicker. But I've only read up to volume 4, I think. Next is If I Could Reach You, volume 1 through 7, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 5 physically, but I did read the entire collection online. The Great Jahi Will Not Be Defeated, volume 1 through 10, I've read up to volume 2. We Never Learn, volume 1 through 21, one of the first series I've started to collect, and I still only read up to volume 17. Goodbye My Rose Garden, the entire collection, I've read all of them. Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Game, volume 1 through 8, I've read up to volume 4. My Secret Affection, the entire collection, I've read volume 1. Studio Apartment, Good Lightning, Angel Included, volume 1 through 7, I've read up to volume 2. Sunbeams in the Sky, volume 1, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 3. Okay, now there's only 2 shelves left. Whew, that's... I think this one will be a little shorter. Alright. Rainbow and Black, the entire collection. I've read all 3 of them. Living Room Matsunaga-san, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 10. Girls Last Tour, the entire collection. I've read all 6 of them. The manga version of The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady, volume 1 through 6. I've read volume 1 and 2. Mint Chocolate, the volume 1 through 13. I've read up to volume 6. My Goddess is Precious Today 2, volume 1. I haven't started it yet. You Like Me Don't You, So Wanna Go Out With Me, volume 1. I've read it. Fieren Beyond Journey's End, volume 1 through 13. I've read up to volume 5. God Bless the Mistaken, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 3. The two of them are pretty much like this. The entire collection, I've read all 4 of them. Hello Melancholic, volume 1, 2, and 3, the entire collection, I've read all 3 of them. Arukana Receive, volume 1, the entire collection again, I've read up to volume 5. Whisper Me a Love Song, volume 1 through 9, I've read up to volume 4. The light novel version of The Alchemist Who Survived Now Dreams of a Quiet City Life, I've only read volume 1. The light novel of Adachi and Shimamura, volume 1 through 12, and I have a couple of spin-offs. Of the main series, physically I've read up to volume 8, but thanks to the reading group I was part of, I've read up to volume 11, as well as most of what's included in 99.9. As for the manga version, I have up to volume 6, and I have read up to volume 4. Alright. Next is Slow Life in Another World, volume 1 through 8. I've only read volume 1. Nuit Espoir, volume 1 through 4. I've only read volume 1 and 2. Sakurai-san Wants to Be Noticed, the entire collection. I've read only... actually, I've read the entire collection. The Summer You Were There, the entire collection. I've only read volume 1 and 2. The manga version of Days with My Stepsister, I've only read volume 1 out of 4. The manga version of Banished from the Hero's Party, volume 1 through 9, I've only read up to volume 1. Pompo the Cinephile, volume 1, 2, and 3, I've read volume 1 and 2. The light novel version of Wandering Witch, volume 1 through 15, and I've read up to volume 6. Alright. Next is the light novel version of Banished from the Hero's Party. I've only read up to volume 3. Did I say the full collect? No, yeah, I said the light novel. But yeah, I have up to volume 14. I believe 15 is going to be the final volumes. Next is the entire light novel series of I'm in Love with a Villainess. I've read up to volume 2. The light novel version of The Executioner and A Way of Life, volume 1 through 9, I've read up to volume 3. The light novel version of My Friend's Little Sister As It In For Me, volume 1 through 10, I've read up to volume 4. And the light novel version of Little Witch Academia, I've read it. Next is the light novel version of Alia, sometimes Either Feeling in Russian, volume 1 through 8, and I have 4.5. I read up to volume 4. The light novel version of The Magical Revolution, I'm not going to say the full title, volume 1 through 8, I've read up to volume 2. The light novel version of In the Land of Leedale, volume 1 through 8, I've read up to volume 2. Light novel version of I Want to Hit Your Pancreas, I've read it. The light novel version of I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years and Max Out My Level, volume 1 through 16, I've read up to volume, actually only volume 1. She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat, volume 1 through 5, I read up to volume 4. The color version of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, volume 1 and 2, I believe these are the only 2 volumes that are going to be released. I haven't read them, technically, but since these are just like re-release of past chapters, I've basically read them, but not in color. And last and not least for this bookshelf, I fell in love with the Soapland Girl, volume 1 through 4, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 2. Okay, we're almost done, guys. Almost. I'm starting, my throat is starting to get very sore. So I don't know how some streamers, like I watch some streamer that talk with people for like 4, 5, 6 hours. I don't know how they do it. Anyway, now it's gonna be another shelf of good stuff. Not my favorite, but a lot of series that I love. First is Mono, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've read up to volume 2. Is the Order a Rabbit, volume 1 through 4. I've read up to volume 3. Blend S, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've read up to volume 2. Bocchi the Rock, the main series, I have up to volume 7. I've read up to volume 3, but I haven't touched any of the spin-off and the comic anthology. Next is Tsumiki Ogami's Not So Ordinary Life, volume 1 through 3. I've read up to volume 2. Ruri Dragon, volume 1 and 2. I've read both of them. Imakoi, Now I'm in Love, volume 1 through 9, the entire collection. I've read up to volume 7. School Zone Girls, technically the entire collection because it's gone on hiatus, and yeah, I know I messed up the order here. I've read the entire collection. Love Me For Who I Am, the entire collection. I've read all 5 of them. Failed Princesses, the entire collection. I've read all 6 of them. Rainbows After Storms, volume 1 through 5, volume 1 through 6, but I did read up to volume 5. Shy, volume 1 through 11, I've read up to volume 10. I'm in Love with the Older Girl Next Door, volume 1, 2, and 3, I've read all 3 of them. A Condition Called Love, volume 1 through 15, I've read up to volume 9. Now That We Draw, volume 1, 2, and 3, I've read volume 1. Wash It All Away, volume 1 through 4, I've read up to volume 3. Medalist, volume 1 through 11, I've read up to volume 10. Next is something that has appeared today in my stream earlier. A Ninja and an Assassin Under One Roof, volume 1, I haven't started it yet. Next is Alter Ego, volume 1 and 2. I haven't started any of them. Still Sick, the entire collection, I've read volume 1. The manga version of I've Been Killing Slime for 300 Years, volume 1 through, sorry about that. Volume 1 through 15, I've only read up to volume 4. A Sign of Affection, volume 1 through 12, I've read up to volume 9 or 10, I'm not sure. Maggie Lumiere, Magical Girl Incorporation, volume 1 through 10, I've read up to volume 7. Call of the Night, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 8. We're almost done, guys. French version of Idol, Cross Idol Story, volume 1 and 2. I haven't started yet. This one, Shatter of Love, I think the English name is Sheltering Eves, volume 1 and 2. I've read volume 1. This one, I don't know the name of the the English title, but Aujourd'hui le Futur, volume 1, I have read it. Next is Witch Watch, in French, up to volume 12. I've only read volume 1. And these one are upside down, but Agent of My Heart, volume 1 through 4, the entire collection, I've read volume 1. My Cute Cousin Always Gets Her Way. I've technically read it online, but this physical book, I haven't started it yet. I Can't Believe I Slept With You, the entire collection, I've read up to volume 2. The French version of I Hope You're Happy Lemon, volume 1 through 5, I've read only volume 1. Crap, I forgot this one. If you remember, if you recognize this character, you know what series it is. But in French, it is No Mots Comme des Bulles, volume 1, 2, and 3. I've only read volume 1. Next is Limit, the entire series, volume 1 through 5. I've started volume 1, but I haven't read it yet completely. Next is No Matter How I Look at It, It's You Guys' Fault I'm Not Popular, volume 1 through 12 and volume 15. I've read volume 1 in French, and I've actually started to read the English version of volume 1 in English. Next is I Made Friend with the Second Prettiest Girl in My Class, volume 1 and 2. I've read volume 1. Next is Not So Shoujo Love Story, volume 1 and 2. I've read, I haven't started it yet. And last but not least, the French version of Oremia, the entire collection, not counting like the volume 17, which I believe is either a spin-off or a bonus series. I don't know. But volume 1 through 16, I've read up to volume 3. This video has lasted more than an hour. This is my second longest video on this channel. Oh my god. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. And I'm not going to make this next year, I think. because by next year, at the rate I'm buying manga, by next year I'll have 3,000 books. So yeah, I'm not doing this again. This was probably the final time that I will ever show you my entire collection in a single video. That's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. If you watch this after I upload it, like the day after I upload it, wish you a Happy New Year, I guess, because I'm recording this on December 31st.